and more good comes to me. Because I believe one thing, is that we are all amazing. We are meant to have an extraordinary life. So how do we work through that positivity? We start with the visual stimuli, move into that auditory, and of course into the environment. Has anyone seen that speech by Jim Carrey? The first time I saw it, it had 500,000 views. The second time I saw it, it had 2 million views. I checked it this morning. Almost 6 million views. That tells me one thing. Humanity is hungry to hear about their magnificence. Humanity wants to be magnificent. Every morning, early in the morning, I get up and I listen to things that make me feel good. I start off by saying thank you, and then I play music that resonates with my soul, with my being. And I understand that sometimes your environment does not offer you that perfect, positive atmosphere. And I'm here to challenge you to say, it doesn't matter what's happening around you. It is your choice to buy into the negativity or to change it and leave it where you found it and say, I am worthy. You are worthy. You have to think of what honors you. And you have to speak the words that do that for you as well. Your thoughts become words, become action, because you believe it is real. And then repeat it all over again. So in summary, it doesn't matter your challenges. It's up to you to accept them and change them. Whether they're environmental or personal, it's up to you to change that. You choose the goodness in your life. It's already there. You have to set realistic goals. This isn't going to come easy to wake up positive every morning, but I guarantee if you wake up every morning in gratitude, you've already started the right way. And of course, keep your eye on the goal. With your family, your friends, maybe some professional who's going to help you stay on course to your greater good. So really, it's not a question of whether you are magnificent. The question is, are you aware of it? I'd like to finish with a quote from Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, fabulous, talented? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give permission for other people to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. Create an extraordinary life, because you are magnificent. Thank you.
I'd like to first have Dr. Rory come up and share with us the wonderful speakers that we're about to be introduced to.
Good morning. Our next segment, you're going to hear from 5 outstanding students, and I want you to be very supportive, lots of smiles on the face, lots of great eye contact to make you feel comfortable. The 40 Leadership International was born 2 years ago from a group of youth that I was mentoring in political training, and yet a lot of the principles I would introduce during this political training are success principles, public speaking skills, and they would say to me, I wish there was more of what you're teaching us in this program. And really at that request, the concept was born, and 2 years ago we started 40 Leadership International. We are currently a multi-generational leadership development company looking to specialize in youth development as we define our market and our niche. But please, you have 5 outstanding students. We have 5 messages for you. And with that, I think Elton is going to come up and introduce them for you one by one. Thank you.
Our first speaker is Ian Santos, who is a youth ambassador for 2 nonprofit organizations, the FYLC and GPN, which is the Global Peace Network. This 25-year-old, or young, depending on which perspective you take. I can't even remember. Cape Verdean young man enjoys reading, writing, poetry, listening to music, playing sports, and inspiring others. One thing most people don't know about him is that he desperately wants to have a family of his own. Now, without further delay, only welcome Ian Santos as he opens your eyes to a new perspective.
How are you doing today? Excellent, excellent. I thank you so much for the break that we had because I was ready to do my talk up until Ms. Perez Castillo made hers and I got ready. Okay, so I think I'm good. Well, thank you all so much for this wonderful opportunity that I've been given here to speak with you all today. It was my pleasure that I'm here speaking with you all today, and we consider it a great, great honor to be afforded this time, as I believe time is one of the most precious gifts you can give anyone. So with that said, I definitely look forward to making the most of your time that I have here with you today. And without further ado, I'll get right into my talk. For the past year, I've been the same person. For the past year, I've been the same individual. That's 365 days. Yet, the descriptive words used to describe me have been quite confusing, to say the least. I've been told I'm tall, and I've also been told that I'm short. I've been told that I'm big and strong, that I've been told that I'm small and weak. Well, I've been told that I'm handsome and even beautiful. Yet I've also been told that I'm ugly. I've been told that I'm black. I've been told that I'm white. I've been told that I could pass for Hispanic or Arabic, and I've even been told that I could pass for still on paper, they tell me to check out the box known as other. I've been called funny, exciting, inspiring, and intelligent. Yet in the same swift breath, or so it seems, I've also been called lame, boring, average, and stupid. Now I encourage you to think about your lives for the past year, or throughout your entire life, if you will, about all of the adjectives used to describe you. Are those adjectives identical, or slightly varying, or drastically varying? Or are they so conflicting that they actually contradict one another? But how is this possible? Have you not been the same individual more or less in your entire life? Have you not been the same one person? How are these adjectives so opposing? Well, I'll tell you just one word. That word is perspective. Just as you see this finger I'm holding up here, we both are seeing the same finger, yet we are seeing it from different perspectives. You all are seeing a light side, slightly indented at the knuckles, And if you even get really close, you'll see a design so unique, so individually my own, that they can identify me in a world of people by a single fingerprint. Yet I am seeing on the reverse side, slightly darker side, with actually slightly protruding knuckles, and a flat surface nail. It is all a matter of perspective, you see. You see, perspective is influenced. It is influenced by religion, by geographical origin, by your literal standpoint, where you see it from which direction, and etc., etc., etc. But the main thing that influences our perspective is our attitude. Your attitude influences your perspective on many things. Just about everything, almost. Okay? Well, I was actually attending our very first FYLC conference that I was invited to by the lovely Miss Dr. Manal Pakori. And there were many great speakers. However, one speaker by the name of Ron Cole gave a phenomenal talk. He actually approached me after his talk, and he handed me a folder with a frame that had been up on the podium throughout his whole talk. And before I could look down at the frame that was on top of the folder, he said, "I've taken note, and I've seen how diligently you were taking notes, how great questions you asked, and how attentive you've been throughout the whole entire conference with each speaker. And I just feel compelled to give you this. These are my notes." And I was so honored. After you walked away and we were finished with our conversation, I looked down at the frame, and I brought it here with me today. It was a quote by the late Jim Rohn. The quote says, "It does not take effort to fail. It only takes deteriorating attitude about our future." By our attitude, we choose to act or procrastinate. By our attitude, we choose to read or not to read. By our attitude, we choose to blame ourselves or others. By our attitude, we choose to try or give up. By our attitude, we actually decide whether to succeed or fail. Attitude determines choice, and choice determines results. The only limit placed on our ability is our inability to recognize our unlimited potential. You see, there is an age-old question I'm sure every one of you in this room has heard before, and it goes like this: is the glass half empty or half full? And you see, I've actually heard many people trying to answer that question, some applying their own logic and reason, saying, well, certainly if you pour a liquid into the glass and you stop at the halfway mark, then it's half full. If you're emptying the glass and drinking from the glass, therefore it is half empty. And it sounds very logical. However, it is my own humble opinion that that question was never meant to actually be answered. Somewhat of a rhetorical question. I believe that when someone is asking you that question, or when you're asking yourself, perhaps that question is meant for you to check your own attitude. Is it a lack mentality or an abundance mentality? Is it negative or is it positive? So with that said, I have two quick quotes that I would like to share with you all, and then I'll be done with my talk. However, the first one, before I say the first one, I would like to do a demonstration with you all. So if you could just loosen up your fingers and hands for a moment. And while you're doing that, I just would like to mention also, there is a gentleman whom I highly respect and admire who is no longer with us. But I did read in a book that I try to read as often as possible, who had said that, verily, I say unto you, if you have faith the size of a grain of mustard seed, you shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall be removed. Then shall nothing be impossible unto you. So I just wanted to enlighten you on that quote, if you will, just because I did derive this next quote, which is my own quote, by the way, from that kind of inspired me to come up with my own little quote. So now that you all have loosened up your fingers and hands, I would like you all to make a fist with either hand, perhaps the red hand, there we go. Now please do extend it out in front of you. Don't punch the person in front of you. I'll use that as an excuse. Okay, so we got it out in front of us. Okay. Now, I have a question for you. I believe with that quote that I just told you all that I could make a mustard seed to block the mountain, or to become the size of a mountain. Now, since there are no mountains in sight, obviously, and I do suppose no one in here has any mustard seeds, so I will kind of improvise and say that I myself will become the size of a mustard seed. Who believes I can become the size of a mustard seed? Anybody? We have one, okay. You got the faith in the mustard seed, you see? I just read that quote, so y'all nobody has faith. So, you got the fist out. I need you to, a little bit bigger than the mustard seed, we can say. So let's actually take our index finger and our thumb and make them to come close together, as close as possible without touching, as if you were holding a mustard seed. Awesome, everybody got that? Now, really quick, I heard that they were actually casting for the next Pirates of the Caribbean, so I need you to take your other hand and put it right over one eye. I hear you say, "Arr." We got some pirates? Okay, so now, looking up at me with that mustard seed in between your fingers, if you would, put that finger with the mustard seed in between very close up to your open eye without causing yourself to injure yourself or close it. Now hold it there for just 1 second while I recite my quote. The quote is this: "Even a mountain, as intimidating and colossal in size, can become the size of a mere mustard seed from the right perspective." Now, do I fit inside that mustard seed? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody would like to be the size of the mustard seed? Okay, now, thank you very much. My last quote, really quick, and then I'm through. I just would like to say, if you all didn't get, well, I'm sorry, I'm sure you got something out of this, but if you all fail to remember anything I've talked about, it's perfectly fine. We all pretend. I mean, not a problem. But if the next week or the next 2 days or even tomorrow, if you think, wow, this guy gave the best talk I ever heard in my life, what he spoke about, then I would just encourage you to remember this one thing only. Please do remember this. It was said by a gentleman who changed the course of our nation. The gentleman's name was Abraham Lincoln. And one of my favorite quotes that I'll leave you all today with goes like this: "We can either complain because a rose bush has thorns, or we can rejoice because a thorn bush has roses." So please let 2015 be your year of new perspective. You can change your life if you simply change your perspective.
Our next speaker is Alexander Swan. Alexander is a high school senior who aspires to become an influential conduit for change for others. He enjoys public speaking, mathematics, and networking. One interesting thing about Alex is that he is currently learning Korean. So please help me welcome Alexander Swan.
Hello. All right, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak in front of you. I'd like to thank Mrs. Manal for giving me the opportunity, and I also like to thank Ms. Barbara Brooks for making this event even come to fruition in the first place. The core missions of my speech is to give you new communication rules. And I'm going to give you 3 points that will help you do just that. By the end of my speech, you know how to accomplish these goals. You also know how to accomplish your own. My first point that I'd like to make is that you need to find more opportunities to publicly speak in front of others and seize them. Whether you have exemplary public speaking skills or not, or whether you become an experienced public speaker, just have experience in doing so. In almost any career work you go into, you will find that your verbal skills help you to brand yourself. In verbal exchange, you merely are instantly being branded. Are you consistent? Are you humble? If you have fear in public speaking, that's fine. But understand that worry, anxiety, and timidity, if unchecked, can metastasize into fear. Is it because of how you appear? Is it because you feel inferior to your audience? Is it because you're afraid that you'll use, clutter words? If any of these reasons before are one of the reasons as to why you have fear, it is not shocking. Quite obviously, most people have a great fear of public speaking, regardless of the reasons previously mentioned. They mean little. Because the truth is that the only way you can become the best public speaker is to be you. Be genuine. The second point that I'd like to make is that networking is important. I'm pretty sure most people know about most people in the music industry. I'm pretty sure that most people understand and question as to why there are some people in the music industry that make more monetary resources than the hardest working Americans. Quite evidently, it is through networking, through big label companies, and record deals that are beyond belief. This means you don't even have to be skilled in your career to make the most monetary resources. Literally. But regardless, how you brand yourself is very important. Though it's very difficult to know how you appear to others, it is imperative that you examine how you present yourself. One of the best ways I learned this was an instructor in JROTC. Told me of a friend of his who had a great barbecue ribs business. And he could be the best in town, but he had very few customers. So what do? He simply advertised himself. You can easily tell the events that have ensued after such successful advertising. Networking can help you build your dreams, and you can also help build others' dreams as well. Now my third and last point is this. You must be genuine to yourself and others. Quite honestly, this is more difficult than the previous one. Why is that? Here's why. Most people in the world have compromised who they are. That means something they originally were not intended to be. Some people have discarded their dreams and their goals to lead a conventional life that gives them nothing, or little to nothing in return. Everyone has failed at some point. That's a part of going through the experiences of life. I know I'm young, I'm only 17 years old, but I think most people can agree with me on that fact. The truth is, you hold the key. Only you alone. If you have fear in your minds, you must believe that it was you who established that, and so too are you able to take that out. With that, I'd like to mention my 3 points as I stated before. My first point is that you have to find more opportunities to publicly speak in front of others, and seize it. The second point is that you have to understand that networking is important. And the third point is that you have to be genuine to yourself and others. If you take nothing else from this speech, take this. You are the master of your fate. You write your own thoughts. Whatever you deem as true in your conscious mind, your subconscious mind will magnify and accept as true as well. If you really want to be an influence to others, you must influence, revolutionize, and live through yourself. With that, I conclude.
You have to love a man in a few words. They have to help you. Our next speaker is Jasmine Backus. Jasmine is currently attending Bellevue High School as a 14-year-old freshman. She's majoring in medicine and plans to become a pediatrician. She's a member of POSA and the College Prep Club that focuses on medicine and healthcare and college prep. She also volunteers at Legacy Elementary, where she mentors 4th grade students and is an ambassador of FYLC. Her hobbies are cooking, baking, reading, drawing, softball, and listening to music. Please welcome Jasmine Backus.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. University had once said, "The new year stands before us, like a chapter in a book waiting to be written. We can help write that story by setting goals." This year, 2015, new goals are out there just waiting for us to put together and accomplish. It's called that one simple phrase we all know, a New Year's resolution. Some people take advantage of this and make the new year something to remember. And that's great, to be honest. But for me, I don't want that. I want something inspirational. I want everyone to know what I'm going to be doing this year and why. I want this year to be one of the greatest years of my life. I want a new year and a new approach. Being a 14-year-old freshman really isn't that easy, especially when you're starting a new program to change your future for the greater good. I attend W High School, where they offer a program called the Advanced International Certificate of Education, also known as the ACE program. Like I mentioned before, this isn't really easy. I've gotten some lower grades on tests and assignments, and after analyzing on this, I realized I really need to do something to improve my education. But what? What could be out there that could help me? Then, of course, 2015 entered our lives. And I've always heard about this New Year's resolution, but I never put much thought into it. And that's when those two little dim light bulbs became that one big bright light bulb. Why not make a New Year's resolution dealing with new approaches to the problems I'm facing in school? Time management has been one of the biggest challenges for me. And I believe if I have my electronic device and I have a checklist near me, not only will I be able to accomplish more things, but I will be able to have more extra time to study and also get ahead with classes and assignments. Also, the study methods I've been doing haven't been that great, and I haven't been studying enough because I still get low grades. But if I have study buddies and I ask teachers questions and attend their tutoring classes, I think I'll be able to do better. Thankfully, I have a cousin that is a grad student, and she's willing to help me with my studies. So hopefully with friends, teachers, and my wonderful cousin, I will be able to pass my test. Referring back to what I mentioned about asking questions to teachers, bringing up ideas and suggestions is a great approach for me because not only will I be able to communicate more with the teachers, but I will also understand the criteria given to me, and when I'm tested on it, I'll pass. But as much as this sounds positive and great, I always have this one thought in the back of my head. Why bother trying my best? I mean, why try to take a new approach in this new year? It's just different numbers. But it's not just numbers. It's new numbers. And not only is it a new rising for me, but it can be a new rising for anybody in this room. By setting these resolutions, I will be able to achieve the goals I set for myself. 1, to become valedictorian. 2, to attend medical school. And 3, hopefully become a successful pediatrician. And that is why the phrase New Year's resolution is well known. It's a time for us to shine, and not only begin a new year, but to change ourselves and reach the goals us human beings have set for ourselves. To start that new year and that new approach. So remember, if you always believe in your dreams and goals, you will be able to do anything. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Trinity Bonner. Trinity is a 13-year-old 8th grade honor student at Liberty Middle School. Trinity is captain of the volleyball team and keystone member of the Boys and Girls Club. She is the president of the Future Business Leader Association and member of the Beta Club, which is the Honor Society, at her school. Trinity is an ambassador of FYLC. Trinity attended the 2013 National Young Leaders Conference in Washington, D.C. Trinity sings in the choir at her church. What a wonderful young lady. Please help me welcome Trinity Bonner.
Thank you for that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Now, we all know that we have made New Year's resolutions that we have yet to accomplish, or we did accomplish, maybe not what we wanted. But every year, I used to make like this really big list of at least like 20 things that I want to change. And half the things on that list we never accomplished, even minor to me. So this year, I set out to just achieve one thing, one goal, my main focus this year, besides school and sports, pretty challenging. But I said I wanted to become a better, effective leader. Well, it all started from the 6th grade when my teacher nominated me for the junior national Women's Conference in Washington. I didn't know I was nominated for it. I thought, wow, when I got the invitation, I was really impressed. Thanked her, and I told my aunt about it, and we got the money, and I got to go. And I met a lot of new people, because I was the only person from Florida, which was really hard for me. I met people from Las Vegas, Hawaii. There was a lot of different cultures and everything. And I got a lot of information from that conference. However, I thought when I was thinking to myself, what was my New Year's resolution was going to be? I thought, what do I need to improve? What really matters, not just to me, but could help others. So I said I would become a better leader. Well, as he introduced me, I'm the captain of a volleyball team. And we were a pretty decent team. We're not going to say we're the best or anything. It's pretty good, just saying. but one day, it was almost our last game. And I was really hoping we won all 3 games. And we were missing a few people on the good service that I had on my team. And I don't know what happened, but we were losing, and I don't like losing. It's okay to lose sometimes. You're not going to win them all, I know that. But I was really mad. And I was standing there, and in my head, all I kept saying was, I'm not even going to get the ball anymore. I didn't even care. I was going to quit. And then I had to realize, I looked around, looked at everybody on the team. I thought, if I give up now, what is everybody else going to do? I'm supposed to be captain. I'm supposed to lead them, help them, and guide them, and tell them where to work and everything. Even if we lose together as a team. So I stood there, was waiting. So then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to continue playing the game. In the end, we lost the game, but I was okay. I wasn't okay, but I was okay. I smiled and was like, oh, big thing. I don't be down inside. I was crying or doing anything. But my coach, who coached all of us, he's like, Trinity, I'm really proud of you, because I know that you really wanted to quit. I could see it all over your face. I really did. I was going to walk off the court. I have to work on that, but I was going to walk off the court, but I didn't. I stayed there. And I said, you can't give up on anything. Anybody in this room who has an aspiration or dream that you have not accomplished, do not forget, you cannot give up on it. Because if you do, it could affect her, him, her, for better or for worse. So whatever you do not give up.
Our final youth speaker is Layla Fukuri. Layla is a junior at Vanguard High School. She's a member of LOMI, FYLC, United Way Youth Network. In her spare time, Layla enjoys soccer, piano, guitar, photography, and travel. She would like to study international law and human rights. Layla is always ready to learn something new. Please welcome Layla Fukuri.
Thank you for that introduction and welcome everybody. So as we watch the ball drop in New York City from our homes, as we meet up with friends and family to share laughs and food, as we send fireworks into the night sky and run around the street with sparklers, we always look forward to the new year. We look forward to the new beginnings, the new opportunities, the new slate, and in some cases, the new resolutions. Now let me ask you all the question. By a show of hands, how many of you have actually held true to your New Year's resolutions and fulfilled them to your best of ability over the course of 365 days? Exactly. So I've noticed a trend, and it's that we make these great plans and promises to ourselves, but when the new day rolls around, However, this year I have a challenge for everyone. I challenge you all to, with your new year, have a new heart. What does this mean? Of course, I don't mean it literally, but I mean to shape your heart, to condition it, to reclaim it. I challenge everyone to soften their hearts and open it to love, and possibilities, and gratitude. There's a multitude of ways that you can do this. Just to list a few, you can start with your own community. Helping people and volunteering have always been effective and easy ways to soften your heart, no matter what age you are. Simply volunteering at the soup kitchen, dropping off blankets at the Salvation Army, helping a friend out with homework, or comforting someone who's stuck in hardships can really touch those around you, but really benefit yourself. I regularly attend Project Downtown at my local mosque on Sundays. And here we prepare food and take it to the hungry and unhealthy. Every single Sunday, rain or shine, these people are out there waiting for us with smiling faces and warm welcomes. As they go through our food line picking up juices and sandwiches, bananas and crackers, the majority never forget to say, "Thank you and God bless you all." Who knew such a simple sentence could have such an impact on my heart? Every time I leave Project Downtown, my heart is full with happiness and love for these people who most likely wouldn't usually get the chance to meet a lot of people in their community. Stretching outside of your own community and comfort zone can easily open your heart as well. Getting to know others from different cultures, reading books on faraway lands, and talking to those you don't know much about can really show you how much wonder this beautiful world has to offer. Now, there's a fine line between getting or hearing all sorts of things about a group of people and then actually submerging yourself within that population and getting to see who they really are. Culture is beautiful, and it makes us all different. And realizing that will help you mend your heart and turn it into one that's more accepting. What's in your heart reflects the type of person you are. So when I ask you to imagine a new year and accompanied by a new heart, ask yourself, am I expressing myself to my full potential? Is my heart in the right place? Or can I mold it into a new, more accepting and loving heart? Because that's certainly a resolution to keep. Thank you.
As I listen to the young students speak, I just remember the words of a song that you may be familiar with. It says, "I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside." Come on, give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let your children's laughter remind us of how it used to be. So join me in thanking Dr. Fakuri for sharing those wonderful